Qualifying has been complete and it's Max Verstappen back on top. Let's go into qualifying and the results and talk about it. My name is Grim. Welcome back to the channel.
Yo, thank you, Daniel. Good. Thank you, Daniel.
What's happening, guys? Qualifying has been complete at the Bahrain Grand Prix and we didn't know what to expect. There were some crazy moments, there were some moments we expected, and some pretty crazy results, I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, what did we learn from qualifying? Now, what we learned is that Alpine are the slowest car on the track, unfortunately for them. There was questions that they would be, and they are. They are so slow, the Alpine. It's unbelievable. They were 1.7 seconds to Max Verstappen's fastest lap time, which is absolutely unbelievable. Now, we also learned that Sauber isn't as quick as what we all thought. They didn't make it out of Q1. And Logan Sargent has a bit of a gap still to Alex Albon. He has closed a little bit. It's very tight in the midfield, but he is still slower than Alex Albon. A really great performance from Nico Hülkenberg, getting it into the top 10 in P10. Nico Hülkenberg putting his car in a position where, honestly, I didn't think Haas would be. I thought they'd be competing at the back with Alpine. It was a bit of an unfortunate qualifying for Kevin Magnussen, but we do see a trend. Nico Hülkenberg outperforming Kevin in qualification. And plus, Yuki Tsunoda actually outperforming Daniel Ricciardo. Yuki Tsunoda P11, Daniel Ricciardo P14. So that was very interesting to see all that. And then, of course, at the top of the grid, we had Lewis Hamilton all the way down in P9, which is very unfortunate. McLaren and Piastri, P7 and P8. So McLaren, obviously, that's what we expected them sort of to be. P6 for Fernando Alonso. Stroll in a lonely low P12. I think Stroll will have a better race tomorrow, though. Sergio Perez in a low P5. Perez, again, not performing. Is it time for Perez to leave Red Bull, man? I know it's round one, but after last year's results and what we're seeing already, come on, man. I don't know. Now, we also found out that Ferrari are very quick. Carlos Sainz didn't really hook up a lap, but Leclerc did, and he was 200ths of a second actually slower than Max Verstappen by the end of it, but he was on provisional pole at the beginning of Q3, and then Max Verstappen came and dominated and beat everybody by 200ths of a second. Max is in his prime at the moment, and he's untouchable. We didn't think anybody was going to beat Verstappen. So let's go through the grid for you guys right now. Max Verstappen in pole position, second Charles Leclerc. Third, George Russell was pretty impressive. George putting his Mercedes up in third when Lewis was down in P9. Fourth, Carlos Sainz. I thought Carlos was actually going to perform better than Charles Leclerc. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. Fifth, Sergio Perez. Sixth, Fernando Alonso. Seventh, Lando Norris. Eighth, Oscar Piastri. Ninth, Lewis Hamilton. Half a second slower than Max Verstappen. 10th, Nico Hülkenberg. And then 11th, Yuki Tsunoda. 12th, Lance Stroll. Alex Albon 13th, 14th Daniel Ricciardo, 15th Kevin Magnussen, 16th Valtteri Bottas, 17th Zhou Guanyu, 18th Logan Sargent, 19th Esteban Ocon, and 20th Pierre Gasly. Now, let's guess the top 10 for the Bahrain Grand Prix and who I think is going to be top 10. I think Max Verstappen's going to win and dominate from start to finish. So I think we're going to go Verstappen first. I think we're going to have Charles Leclerc second, Carlos Sainz third. I'll put Sergio Perez fourth, George Russell fifth. I'll put 6th, Fernando Alonso. 7th, Norris. 8th, Lewis. 9th, Piastri. And for the final point, I'll say Lance Stroll. And that is what I will say. Also, I think that Kevin Magnussen will beat Nico Hülkenberg during race trim. And I'm keen to see the battle between the Saubers, Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu. See what happens there. I think Logan Sargent will be competing at the back with Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly. And I think there'll be a little entertaining battle between Alpine and... we'll see what happens with those two drivers. Now, it does beg the question. I think that after that performance by Alpine, listen, Ocon was on the radio saying, listen, guys, we can improve. Don't worry too much. Listen, it's only round one. Being optimistic about the future of the team. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've got a feeling Esteban Ocon is going to do his absolute best to try and jump in that Mercedes seat for 2025. And honestly, Aston Martin isn't that bad at the moment. Like, at the end of the day, Fernando Alonso did jump Lewis Hamilton. I get Russell beat Alonso, but the Aston is there. Aston, I feel like, are quicker than McLaren. I think McLaren are the slowest out of the top bunch. It's very hard to read everybody, to be honest. I think that we're going to have a much closer season when it comes to the mid-season, unless Red Bull really dominate the car and, upgrade the car so well that they dominate everything. I still think Max Verstappen is the clear favourite for the championship, but I think we're going to see a win from Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, George Russell, possibly Lewis Hamilton, and maybe Lando Norris might get his maiden win. I don't know. But I don't know if the Astons are quick enough to win a race. But we're going to have to wait and see. At the moment, I do feel like Red Bull are the quickest, obviously. Second, I'd say Ferrari. Third, I'd probably say either Mercedes or Aston. I think it's very close between Mercedes and Aston Martin. I think they're very, very even. Then I'd go McLaren. Then I think that the RBs are next at the back of the field, sort of in front of everyone, though. That's why I think Lance Stroll didn't really perform, putting it in P12, getting beaten by Yuki Tsunoda. Now, I think that Williams are under them. And then I have, say, Haas, Sauber, Alpine. I do think that the Williams is faster than the Haas, but I just think they didn't get a lap hooked up. So that's my personal opinion of what the standing and pecking order is in the 2024 season for round 1 and maybe round 2 and maybe even round 3 in Australia. So we're going to see what happens with that. Now, another thing I wanted to mention, Yuki Tsunoda did outperform Daniel Ricciardo and actually beat him. Now, everyone's talking about Ricciardo going to Red Bull. If Yuki Tsunoda keeps performing and out-qualifies Daniel Ricciardo and, gets points where Ricciardo's not in the points, mate, we can see Yuki Tsunoda maybe jump up to Red Bull. I think that the seat's going to be open, though. I still think Perez is going. I think it's going to be between Daniel Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda. I'd throw in there now that he's already starting to perform. Lance Stroll, because I was talking with Lance Stroll with Mercedes, Esteban Ocon, and Mick Schumacher. Now, people ask me about the Lance Stroll thing. Listen, I can see it happening. I can. He'd be a decent number 2 to George Russell. I'd like to see him win a championship, Lance Stroll. I'm a Lance Stroll fan, but do I think that? No, but if you put someone like Fernando, there will be clashes between him and Russell. Obviously, or even Carlos Sainz. Sorry, I didn't mention Sainz. Obviously, he's out of contract, so maybe Sainz can go there. Listen, there's a few drivers that could have that option for 2025. It's very early to say. We haven't even started racing yet in Bahrain. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Like I said, Max Verstappen, absolutely unbelievable, absolutely quick. And who's going to stop the Dutch master? I do not know. Mate, he's so quick. Let's see what happens. I think Sauber and Alpine need a lot of improving to move up. I think that Kevin Magnussen needs to really improve on his qualifying pace. And I'm really hoping for Kevin's sake that he does beat Hulkenberg. Now, I am biased to Kevin Magnussen because I'm a Magnussen fan, but realistically, if Magnussen doesn't perform this season, is there a seat for him in 2025? I don't know. I don't think so, which is unfortunate. But at the end of the day, I want him to stay. Trust me, I'm a massive Kevin fan. Is there a seat, though, like I said? I really don't know. Guys, that was my qualifying rundown. Happened a few hours ago, probably like 5 hours ago since we've had qualifying. I've had time to digest it. I had some sleep because I've been up all night watching practice 3, qualifying, making videos. So that was really a funny situation for me. We're going to do it all again in Saudi Arabia. But before that, we have the race tomorrow night at 2 a.m. Australian local time. So I don't know what time it is overseas and everything. But we are going to go racing in Bahrain for the 2024 Formula 1 season. Bring it on. Max Verstappen versus Charles Leclerc off the line. Let's see what happens. Guys, thank you guys for watching today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in my next Formula 1 video. Thank you.